If I was a terrible rapper, would you still be with me?
I would just tell you have to work out. Yeah.
Say no. Please say no, because I'm not, so we safe. But now this is the thing.
If you were who you are
as a human
being and you could rap, I'll just tell you, let's do something else.
There we go.
You know? Let's do something
else.
Love you,
because but here's the honest.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
How did we meet? What happened? I want to hear your version.
No, I think, but your version is way better though.
My version? All right,
yeah,
well, my version
like
way
this. Better
we was in the studio.
Because you make it so much
We was in the studio, and the homie, homie Phonics was like, this song is Rapture. So it's a women's appreciation song. And the homie was like, I think this song could use some violins. Some live violins though. And then he just started bragging about you. I was like, oh, she sounds awesome. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, she play violin, she speak another language. And so he called, and then you showed up, and that was the first time we met. Nothing happened. Did nobody get at nobody and spit game. But yeah, we met then, and then we just stayed in touch.
Then after that, you had me come and be in the video. And then that's how we saw each other again.
There we go.
And then after that, we met again.
And then one time, I was like, man, you know what? If we gonna keep seeing each other's face, we should have some food. You know what I'm saying? And then after lunch, we hung out some more until it was about dinner time. And then it was like, wait, we hungry again? Are we still together? And then, it was just that nonstop conversation, And that's really like, you want to turn this into Netflix and chill, you feel me? And you was like, sure. I was like, oh, I'm kissing you tonight. You feel me? You gonna get kissed tonight. But no, that was a good time. It was one of those experiences where I can speak for myself. I knew exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? I knew what it was. I respected it, but at the same time, I wasn't gonna like be too tentative, too respectful that I didn't like make no move. Because once you said you wanted to watch a movie at a.m., you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, she liked me, you feel me? So, hey, es la verdad. Oye. Pero lo que ustedes no saben es que ella habla español también.
Sí, and that's cool.
Ellos van a poder poner subtítulos en esta parte.
Sure. But I'm not Hispanic. That's one thing.
Oh, you had to say that.
I did have to say that
because people are gonna be like, I knew she was Dominican.
No, I am Haitian.
Haitian.
You're
close to a lot of Latinos.
Teaching Creole.
Okay, so Creole.
Creole.
So, Creole.
Yeah.
Creole Haitian.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what you teach me? I know Igrongu. I'm hungry.
Kijonye.
Women.
Me.
Mm-hmm. We. Yes.
Marameu, I love you.
Marameu.
Yeah.
Yep, I love you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing that we've watched on Netflix?
We watched Major Pain. We watched literally all 3 seasons of Atypical. That was cool. A long...
Talladega Nights.
That
was my favorite all right. Really Love.
Really Love
was really good.
That was good.
That was good.
I liked the art of it because I liked the storyline of how he was an artist and she, was a lawyer, and they both they had different lives, but they both had dreams, and they both, were at the peak of okay, she's like, all right, I'm finally, getting a job here, and he's like, I'm finally getting my own show here, and I'm good, but
they couldn't figure out how to do it.
They couldn't figure out how to do it together, and I was just like, dang, y'all could do it together, just talk about it. And
I mean, it would for sure change things for somebody in there though, and because I compare it to The Alchemist, right? My favorite book. he meets the person he's supposed to be with at a time where it's not convenient, you know, so then they come back together. But I think it was just tough to see people not communicate, you know, two passive aggressive people. So that part of it was tough, but you gotta ask yourself, is a film really doing its job if it's making you feel?
Yeah.
Like, if we didn't feel nothing, then it would have failed. But we both over there, you feeling one way, I'm feeling another way, you know? And at the end of it, it just left you to, it lived with you afterwards. Like, dang, that was its own body of work. That was something.
It was its own body of art.
You're fearless, and that's beautiful. Like, you're not from no gangsta ass place, but you're fearless. Like, you're like, all right, I'm shook, I'm stepping up. Just like you said when you said old boy was following you to your car. What'd you turn around and say? Hey, home, what'd you say to him?
Oh my God.
What'd you say to him?
Say, yo, you good? But I was like really serious and like,
Hey, you
I'm
good?
just
Like,
laughing right now.
you was like, you're not gonna chase me. We gonna either stand there and fight it out, or, you know, and half the time, that's like life. If you meet a challenge head on, you know what I'm saying? It'll usually back up, but if you fear from it, it'll continue to pursue you like a predator kind of thing. But how do you feel about being a newlywed? You married to Daniel.
Before we were already close, but I feel like after we got married, it was a whole nother level of closeness, if that makes sense. Like, I just feel like we just became, it just felt like we literally became one. It just feels divine for sure.
Absolutely.
It feels divine.
Absolutely.
It feels right. It just feels like we're going in this intentionally, like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're family, and now we're gonna build a family, you know.
It's like joining the gang. It's like, you know, because before the gang, you yourself, right? You yourself, and you have a sense of identity. But when you join a gang, it's like, now that becomes a part of your identity. Like, you're not just you that dude from this place. So I'm not just me no more. I'm D Smoke from West Side, Angelina Gangsta. You know what I'm saying?
I think Stevie is a beautiful character because she was able to talk about her dreams and what mattered to her, but then she also had this thing of where us women can relate to, of being in love and then contemplating, okay, do I stay here for the love of my life, or do I go to this law firm that I've been dreaming of? And I think that we all have been there, especially as women. It's like, oh my gosh, I have a good thing and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I think that Stevie, for her, she felt like he wasn't there in the moments that she needed him. And so she felt like, I need to make this decision for the best, for my heart, to guard my heart. And I think that's what we do as women. When we see a good thing and we feel like it's not for certain, we go with what we think is best. Those feelings never left, because although it may seem like she had somebody else, she literally lit up when she saw Isaiah, you know? So
in front of the dude.
In front of the guy.
Like, oh, this is, what's your name again, Nikki?
Stevie.
Isaiah.
How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. How are you?
Can't complain.
No.
Hi, I'm Ahmad.
Ahmad, this is Isaiah Maxwell, one of the artists.
Oh, excellent.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
So I just think Stevie was just in that place of like love, but fear, but love,
I
and
know
just
if
going back and forth with that.
I know if an old ex ever walk up to us and y'all have a look like that, I'm just firing on him, just taking off.
Oh
He gets bing, bing. Like, if you just look like, oh, it's good to see you too. This is D. Nah, I'm firing on him, taking off, taking his head off. If there was a leader of the relationship, it was Stevie.
Yeah.
You know,
I do agree.
Isaiah was brilliant. He's a brilliant character. His paintings were not only like skillful, but they were like, that was his voice. You know, he was like, he didn't have long-winded lines throughout the movie. He asked a lot of questions to her, let her kind of lead the conversation. They had some silence between them. And
he was dealing with the dilemma of not being able to provide for Stevie.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
because he didn't have money at the time and he felt like he couldn't be a provider for her.
And Stevie was a writer for...
But Stevie was a writer for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he saw that completely.
There's this thing inside of men that's like, and I don't speak for all men, but I speak for a particular type. And, you know, there's plenty of us this way. Desire to fulfill our purpose here. And a part of that, like our primary goal is to fulfill our purpose on earth. And a part of that is building a legacy of family.
Yeah.
You know, for a woman, a lot of times, love is the main thing.
Yeah.
And then under that, she's like, and I want these, right? So she's saying she's willing to give up her dreams. He's like, I'd never ask you to, because from his perspective, he'd never do that.
Yeah.
Because the primary thing as a man is to be like, I can't look at you, I can't rely on you long term.
Yep.
I won't respect myself, and then I'll begin to resent you for depriving me of the opportunity to prove something to myself.
Yeah.
To prove that I can pursue my dreams until something comes of it.
Yep.
I really like this. Something about the scene that stuck out to me is when they were walking, and it was a lot of silence in that conversation, a lot of dead space, and it was a really long shot with them coming down the street. And but it felt like a real kind of chill conversation. And once I realized that how intentional and how long that shot was, I just felt a whole lot of respect. And for the people who made the movie, I was like, damn, that's beautiful. It just felt beautiful to see somebody walk that long. You knew there were no cuts in that whole shot. So you really get to watch these people, and it felt vulnerable. It felt like really like real, like a love growth moment. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that. It was just every time those horns came in and they just played these beautiful long arrangements. They came in like harmonies and chords, and that was beautiful to me. So yeah, what about you? What was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie was when they finally had a conversation. Like, and they finally
We're honest.
broke. And she was like, if you told me to stay, I
would've
would
stayed.
have. That was my favorite part, because I'm like, there it is.
We just had an amazing night together. You just gonna leave like that? Tell me you don't still feel something.
Of course, I still feel so.
Okay. Then what's the problem?
If you had asked me to stay, I never would have left.
Stay. I want you to stay.
You support me a lot, like when I'm trying to send out arrangements, violin arrangements and stuff, you record me, and you're like, and not only record me, but also input in the arrange. Yeah, and we both work together on that. Like, we both like, all right, you should add this part in there, you should add this part in there.
That's like our
part.
special
And we both,
sauce.
yeah, and we both just put it together, and it's really cool. It's, of course, love, but it's also because we like each other. We like to do music together. We like to hang out and just be besties and just be like, okay, cool, we're gonna try this part. We're gonna try this part. And you go on the piano. We literally just sit on the piano for like 30 minutes just singing runs and just making and recording, this sounded good, and it just becomes into a song. And we're like, this is cool how that happened, you know? So
I enjoy us creating together. And then I also know how to respect your own hustle as a writer, as a artist, you know what I'm saying? As a violinist, I can cheer. I can just put my little things to the side and show up and stand on the side and, pull my phone out and look like the proud hubby, you know what I'm saying? And just film it. And that's, that's key, and you for sure do the same, like.
You literally are so attentive to me more than anybody I've ever known. Like, you literally, like, the way that you check in with me, it's not even just like a how you doing. It's like you look me in my eye. You're always just like,
I can see it.
you always look me in my eye. You're like, checking in with you. And even it's like you always want to have a real moment with me before we got into the world, before we talk to other people, before we, you know, when we're in the car on the way to other events, having a hug and kiss family or people. It's like you always like find importance of us paying attention to each other and checking in with each other and just tapping in. And I think that's so beautiful. And I think because we have such great communication too, that's like what makes us gel so well.
We different in the right ways. You're not from no gangster place, but you got all the heart in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from Inglewood, but at the same time, I know how and when to be real sensitive to you. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
And I know how to push you to be a gangster. You know. So
It's cool that now we're in this marriage. It's like you're able to be that full self of you, and me too. And that's the best thing.
I'm looking forward to children, of course. I'm looking forward to having kids. 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, something. You know what I'm saying? You ready? 7 for the hood. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding.
We said 4.
4. You know what I'm saying?
Still a lot, but I think we can do it.
You could do it. I for sure could do it. But no, that's it's all about building. So I'm excited about building. I'm excited about growing.
You are.
I love you.
I love you, brother.
She's committed to it. I love you too, baby.